We figured out how to actually get Nakamoto consensus to work properly in the proof of stake world and have the exact same security properties as proof of work, but take all the benefits of what proof of stake gives us. And it took a very long time, 9 years of meticulous research, dozens of papers, tons of peer review, tons of formal methods work, massive amounts of simulations, and a live network for 7 years that's never gone down and been hacked and broken. We took that road and we showed the world how to do that. And because of this, the programmability and now on-chain governance, we have a vastly superior model.
Just when you thought that crypto couldn't get any crazier, we've seen Bitcoin crashing down very briefly to $74,000. Now that sent altcoins, including Cardano, into a bloodbath. However, it's not all doom and gloom. We do have a little bit of positivity coming out from none other than Charles Hoskinson. Now he's breaking down the fact that he believes that the final leg of the bull market has yet to come. And he also gives us an interesting price prediction. So without any further ado, let's break it down. What's up, Ada Gang? Welcome into Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. My name's Fareed. As a part of today's brief update, we're diving into the massive wave of liquidations that have not just hit Bitcoin, but also ETH, ADA, Solana, and all of the major altcoins here within the blockchain and crypto space, now towering over $1.5 billion wiped out from the markets. In addition, we've got some hopium coming in from Charles Hoskinson, where we're going to break down his Bitcoin price prediction and exactly what that could result in for altcoins like Cardano and ETH. Now, we've also got a massive donation, which has just been made directly to the Cardano Treasury. And then we're going to close out today's update here by listening into a brief clip of Charles breaking down some of the similarities between Bitcoin and Cardano and exactly why he believes Cardano stands a big chance to eat into the Bitcoin dominance when we do finally get to that final and expansive leg of the bull run. Now, if it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to help you find your footing here within the Cardano and Bitcoin ecosystems. If you appreciate content like this, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up on the way in. It's by far one of the easiest ways to support me as a content creator. If you want more, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to voice off in the comments section. Now, if you want to extend your support for the channel even further, consider delegating your ADA with either of the two Dapp Central stake pools, which both share the ticker DAPP. Now we're going to dive right on into the charts here as Bitcoin is still trying to figure out whether it wants to end the day on a green note or a red note here. And so we've got this indecision candle there on the daily. And if I just drop into the 15-minute time frame very briefly here, we can see that the $74,000 range was hit earlier this morning. So we've seen a massive rebound. And this was due to a lot of fear from the traditional stock markets, where we saw a lot of money exiting the traditional system. And that was giving a lot of people some scares. And so over the weekend, we saw Bitcoin following suit. And we've now seen the traditional markets rebounding. And of course, Bitcoin starting to rebound here as well. And so taking a look here at ETH, it dropped all the way down to nearly $1,400. Cardano briefly touching 51 cents. And of course, since this morning, it is now up roughly around 12% at around 58 cents. Now, is the worst over? I have no idea. And I actually want to take the opportunity to also highlight the fact that while, yes, I released a video roughly about a week ago breaking down the fact that a golden cross was getting set up or was beginning to play out on the Bitcoin charts, that particular pattern actually ended up busting. So of course, Bitcoin made a lower low as opposed to the expected higher high or the break into the $90,000 range. However, I still stand by my long-term vision that we have still yet to see the best to come. Now, I want to take the opportunity to also address anybody that might feel like I've let them down in providing that type of content. And I wanted to start off by saying that number one, nobody knows where the market's going. It's all complete speculation. However, it doesn't mean that I'm just throwing ideas out there without any backing. That was actually the goal of that entire video, was to break down the golden cross, talking about the moving averages, the timeframes, etc. So hopefully, even if the prediction itself wasn't correct, you were able to get some sort of benefit by learning or understanding what an actual golden cross is. So hopefully, again, when it does play out, you'll be a little bit more aware of what's going on. But I definitely do understand that trying to predict the markets is a very, very tiring game, and it's a very hard game to get right. That's exactly why the market makers continue to do what they do, and that's why they are able to take advantage of some of these markets, especially in crypto, where it is volatile. And so I'll just close out by saying that I by no means am ever putting out malicious material. There's nothing that I stand to gain by, telling people to go invest into make moves that they shouldn't be making. But I also want to emphasize that people should not be making financial decisions here based off of just what I'm providing. And so always want to make sure to understand the markets on your own. And if you want to add my personal take or my personal opinion to that, you're obviously more than welcome to. But you should never rely on any single person's analysis for your financial investments. Of course, make sure to seek a financial advisor and make sure that you understand the risks that come with investing in the blockchain and crypto space. And so now that we've got that out the way, jumping back into sort of the bigger downturn here, we have nearly $1.24 billion wiped out of the entire market in the last 24 hours alone. A lot of that coming in from longs that were betting long on Bitcoin. We've also got longs getting liquidated here on ETH. And then if we take a look at Cardano to be specific, we've got roughly $10 million in terms of longs being wiped out, and then roughly $2.75 million worth of shorts liquidated. Now, what's interesting is that even though we've seen all of this playing out, we have Charles Hoskinson, who believes that the best portion of the bull market is yet to come. And he also gives us an interesting price prediction. So as I'm getting things pulled up here, I'm going to jump over to his Twitter page, but he breaks down something that I personally did not expect. And so let's jump in here where he states, you can compress a spring, but remember that it always bounces back. The markets currently seem hopeless and broken, but the bull market will be spectacular. I, Charles Hoskinson, remain confident in a 250K Bitcoin within a year, alongside a rising tide for everyone else, which of course means altcoins like ETH, Cardano, Solana, whether you like it or not, right? Which will also go up in price appreciation. Now, Charles Hoskinson has been here since, I want to say 2009-ish, where he was basically mining Bitcoin from his laptop. So he's obviously an OG here. He's been through 4 cycles alone. And so when this man speaks, I listen. But if he believes that Bitcoin will hit 250K, that's nearly a 1.5x from its recent all-time high of roughly around $108,000. I think that will lead to at least a $7 to $10 Cardano. Now, anything on top of that is just extra cake for the taking. But I definitely believe that Cardano will set a new all-time high. It's literally just a matter of time. And right now, I think that a lot of people are forgetting that all markets are heavily manipulated, and that when everybody expects something, the market always does the opposite. So for a lot of people, they were counting on the traditional 4-year cycle, which we've seen play out for roughly 3 or 4 cycles now. That is no longer the thing. And that's because we have institutional money in the game. And so for a lot of latecomers, they're literally trying to pull the boat back to the harbor in order to load up. And I think events like we just saw, where we saw over $1.5 billion liquidated, and we see these quick rebounds. Who's buying these dips? It's traditional finance. It's the people that still have fiat, that still have liquidity, that are making these purchases. So keep that in mind. I believe that the bull market will still come. Charles believes it as well. It's just a matter of tiring a lot of people out. And as soon as they look away, just like we saw in November, where Cardano went from 25 cents to $1.30, the price will appreciate. And by the time that those people come back to the market, the majority of the move has been made. So if you're still here, give yourself obviously a pat in the back for not straying away, but also for being patient. Even someone like myself, like I'm just as patient, and I'm having to go through a lot in the last couple of weeks. I'll just keep it at that. But I'm also excited here for what the future holds. So I at least wanted to talk or to touch on that, but I'd love to hear, what your thoughts are. Do you agree with Charles's Bitcoin prediction of roughly around 250K? If so, why? And if not, I also like to hear why. Now, that's not all. I want to briefly talk about a massive donation that was just made to the Cardano Treasury here, where we've got Sebastian Guillemot, the founder of DC Spark, who's now donated 460,000 ADA directly to the community or directly to the Cardano Treasury, which can be spent by the community. Now, 400K of this is a loan, and then 60K of it is the accrued interest, which he sort of calculated based off of the last 6 months. In addition, we've got the team from DC Spark, again, founded by Sebastian, who's now also introduced this brand new donation feature into their Cardano Rust SDK, which essentially is a version of the Cardano node that operates using the Rust language or the Rust coding syntax, as opposed to Haskell, which is what I believe the traditional Cardano node uses. So great contribution here from Sebastian. And while we're on the topic of the Treasury, that currently stands at 1.7 billion ADA. And right now at the price of Cardano, that's worth roughly around $1 billion. Of course, if Cardano is able to get back to $1, that would mean that the community has over $1.7 billion to spend. And if Cardano breaks past $1, then you could imagine how quickly that treasury will multiply. So again, just really good to see such a selfless act here within the Cardano ecosystem. As I get ready to close out today's video, I mentioned Charles talking about Cardano dominance growing over the course of this particular final leg of the bull market. And he talks about the fact that things like Bitcoin DeFi will play a big part into that. And if you've missed it, that is one of the key factors here on the Cardano roadmap for the upcoming years. Now, for a lot of people, they might not realize, but Cardano is a lot more closely related to Bitcoin than meets the eye. Now, we're going to see if and how people finally react when Cardano does begin to finally shine in that particular regard. We've seen already Bitcoin OS, but Charles has sort of mentioned that he wants to do something a little bit more different. But as liquidity, yield, and DeFi begins to open up in the Cardano ecosystem, I think that a lot of people will realize that not only does Cardano encompass the initial vision that Satoshi wrote out when he was doing the Bitcoin white paper, it also extends that with smart contracts. And as you know it, Cardano is secure, reliable, and fully scalable. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how the next couple of years play out. But without any further ado, as we get ready to close out here, I'm going to play this 2-minute video of Charles breaking down why Cardano stands to overtake a big piece of Bitcoin's dominance in this last bit of the bull market. As always, if you've enjoyed this, please smash that thumbs up on the way out. If you want more, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.
And you know what? Bitcoin no longer has earned the right to call itself the only sound money blockchain. Cardano is here too. And we will not allow the maxis in the Bitcoin ecosystem to take that from us. ADA is sound money. We are far more decentralized. We are deflationary in our monetary policy. And we've honored all as our community the commitments and principles and promises that were made. And we have engaged in a long arc roadmap and been up for 7 years. At what point are we a real cryptocurrency? They'll never say it because they understand that the biggest threat to Bitcoin's dominance has and always will be Cardano, because we were the ones who listened to the innovators in the Bitcoin ecosystem, whether it had been the innovators with Lightning, the innovators with color coins, the innovators of Satoshi's vision and where he wanted to take it and how it would change the world. And so many of these people, because I was there personally for more than 10 years, again and again and again, proposed amazing ideas, whether they be color coins or such. And none of them ever really ended up becoming first-class citizens in the Bitcoin roadmap because they said perfection was achieved January 3rd of 2009. We were the ecosystem that listened and finished the work. We created extended UTXO, Plutus, and all the derivative languages as an ecosystem. We figured out how to actually get Nakamoto consensus to work properly in the proof of stake world and have the exact same security properties as proof of work, but take all the benefits of what proof of stake gives us. And it took a very long time. 9 years of meticulous research, dozens of papers, tons of peer review, tons of formal methods work, massive amounts of simulations, and a live network for 7 years that's never gone down and been hacked and broken. We took that road and we showed the world how to do that. And because of this, the programmability and now on-chain governance, we have a vastly superior model. So they're scared because they know at the end of the day, if all it is just what has more adoption and price, and we're thinking decade by decade, and we have a better growth engine, eventually, like Facebook to MySpace, it's not even a competition.